Accidents are the worst, and everyone knows it. But some people handle them better than others. Take this guy, for example. He was trapped inside a car after an accident, and everyone was wondering if he was still alive.
Sí, está vivo, está vivo.
As rescuers worked to free him, he suddenly jumped out of the car as if nothing had happened and stood up outside the car. Fortunately, he was unharmed and walked away like it wasn't a big deal. Admirable, right? How would you react if you saw this on your doorbell camera? This guy stole his neighbor's Ring camera. The weird part, the next day he showed up to apologize. He knocks on the door, asking for peace, but is told it's too late for that, which she seems to not understand.
What do you want?
Peace.
Too late for that.
What?
Too late for that.
Too late?
When you stole from me, you started your own war. Too late for that.
The neighbor, still puzzled about why his actions have upset the homeowner, says goodnight and leaves.
Good night, sir.
But it doesn't end there. He appears again, this time with the Lion King music playing, and starts talking to his door again. He even invites his neighbor over for cheese, wine, and crackers.
I guess that means you're hearing this?
Do speak.
Oh, there's wine, cheese, and crackers across the hall if you're interested.
Nah, we ain't no rats. We just don't like cheaters, liars, and stealers and thieves. Have a good night.
The whole situation is bizarre and hard to believe. Later, he comes back wearing sheets all over himself and finally leaves for good. Eventually, he was arrested. Imagine coming home to a sight like this. You can hear the despair and resignation in the poor tenant's voice.
I called the emergency. They said to call leasing office. Leasing office said they're unavailable. Oh my God.
In 2023, a CCTV camera in Chicago captured a distressing scene where a woman was robbed by 4 men. The footage shows the woman walking down the street with a suitcase when suddenly a car pulls up next to her. Seconds later, an armed and hooded man, followed by others, steps out of the car and approaches her with a gun. Despite the terrifying situation, the woman remains remarkably calm. The men steal her belongings, but interestingly, not her suitcase. And then they hop back into their car and drive off. Just thinking about the fear this poor woman must have felt really makes me angry at the thieves. McDonald's workers have seen many surreal things, but this one takes it to another level. A customer captured a video showing a truck engulfed in flames in the McDonald's parking lot. The truck is completely on fire. Seconds later, the truck explodes and chaos emerges. Here's another, you don't see that every day, robber from south of the border. It shows two men riding up on a horse and running into a convenience store with guns drawn. But one of the best parts is that the horse initially attempts to follow them in, forcing one of the thieves to jump back on and wait for his brother in crime. And while they may be thieves, there's something pretty cool about this robbery. It's like Red Dead Redemption without all the pesky dialogue.
Yes, let me introduce myself. I'm a neighbor.
Oh, hi.
Oh, yes. No. Hi, all right. You look very young. I'm 81 years old and I live right down there, okay? And I have been here since the neighbors that you bought from had 2 dogs. And they would bark occasionally, okay? We live in Butler Township that has a dog barking ordinance. And I must tell you, I am tired of listening to that dog. Yes, you heard me correctly, and I'm 81 years old and I repeat it.
Okay.
This Karen started knocking on her neighbor's door, immediately launching into a rude argument about the dog barking. She doesn't even care what her neighbors have to say. She just acts rudely and disrespectfully.
Barking. He started this morning at 5:33. He barked a few things, you took him in. Okay, it's got to stop. I will call Butler Township and I will file whatever papers are responsible or necessary. Because we're retired, we are there all the time. We've gone through summer and spring and fall with you, and apparently you have no consideration for the neighbors.
Definitely a terrible neighbor to have next door. Our homes are where we're supposed to feel safe and secure. This man strolling up to a home in San Jose, California, is not the homeowner, nor is he a guest. As he goes into the backyard, he is joined by a second man who has his hood up and is wearing gloves. The two start acting shady and begin casing the joint. After gaining access to the home via the back door, they search around, taking knives from the kitchen and looking for items that they can steal. Eventually, they head upstairs, knives in hand. When the hooded man tries to enter one of the bedrooms, he becomes spooked and calls for his buddy. The two enter the room again off camera by kicking down the door. It turns out the homeowner's family, including a 1-year-old infant, had locked themselves in the en-suite bathroom and were calling the police. Thankfully, this was enough to scare off the intruders, who quickly made their exit. In an interview with the local news station, the father and homeowner had this to say.
If they wanted to fight with somebody, they should come visit me. All they are here is to rob homes, and on the way, if somebody comes in between, they can hurt. They don't care. They don't have family, probably. They don't care about mothers, sisters, children. So those criminals have no religion.
Once again, we see someone harming animals to really get back at their neighbors. In Albuquerque, a Ring camera captured a neighbor shooting a dog with a pellet gun. The video was truly heartbreaking. You can see how the shooter carefully planned his attack and how the dog posed no threat at all. After the attack, the family checked the surveillance footage and discovered that this wasn't the first time. For 3 months, he had been plotting how to do it. The poor family is now terrified, and the crazy neighbor claimed he was just fed up with the barking. But dogs bark. That's what they do. The officers told the family that the investigation isn't moving forward. What do you think about that?
What are you doing in the park alone?
I mean, that's quite a personal question, but okay.
Just asking.
I'm just on my way to my car.
Can I walk you down?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm very capable of walking myself, don't worry. Thanks for the offer, though.
You don't need to be scared. Darling, I'm just trying to be gentle.
Well, that's very nice. Obviously, there's not a lot left, but I don't know if now's the right time, to be honest.
This is the perfect time.
This creep in the brown shoes wasn't taking no for an answer. He approaches a woman walking through the park and asks her what she's doing there alone. The woman had already turned a camera on since he had been following her, and she was fearful of what might happen next. She kindly rejects the man's offer to walk her to her car, despite his claims that he is just being a gentleman and that there's nothing to fear.
Let me walk you down.
I mean, it looks like you already are, and I don't really have a choice in the matter, which is quite alarming, so I don't really know what to say, to be honest, but I'm absolutely fine to walk to my car by myself.
Why is it alarming?
Because I don't know you and you're practically following
you can get
me.
to know me, can't you?
Why would I want to do that?
We can be friends.
Can we?
Or you want to be friends?
I've got quite a lot of friends, to be honest.
We can make another one.
Well, why would I want to do that?
Why would you want to do that? That's why, isn't it?
Well, oh my god, please don't touch me.
Give me a hug.
Oh my god, no, sorry. What on earth?
I'm not going to bite.
A hug?
Oh, give me a hug.
When she implies that she doesn't want to be friends, the man takes things a step further by touching her and asking for a hug. With the alarm bells ringing, the woman decides it's time to get out of there, fast. In December 2023, a McDonald's in the Philippines witnessed an earthquake, and many people caught it on camera. Suddenly, the lights went out and everyone was evacuated outside.
Oh my god. Nandulog kasi paghihapon. Grabe yan. Wala din mo basta-basta. Wala din.
Even though the situation was terrible, the staff handled it perfectly and nobody was injured. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. This footage from Irving, Texas proves it. Apparently, a woman left her phone in the store and sent her friend to go get it. The store owner said the person herself should come back and pick it up as he didn't want to give it to a random person. This is how she responded.
They speak Jin, they don't speak Chinese, so she messing that stuff up.
She literally destroyed pretty much the entire store rather than go and get her friend. I feel really sorry for the people who had to clean up that mess, but I have a feeling it wasn't her. This neighbor is a mix between creepy and hilarious. Picture this, a Karen neighbor decides she could vandalize her neighbor's property without them noticing. Surprise, she got caught on surveillance footage in her nightgown. I bet she never thought she was being watched. The footage shows her spraying something on the plants, probably to kill them. She even peeks through the windows before continuing her spraying spree. Later, they discovered she had sprayed one of the cameras with paint. Turns out, she wasn't targeting the plants after all. She was marking her territory with paint. This time, she'll probably feel safer knowing she's clearly defined the lines between the properties. When you get an alert about a possible burglary, most people would call the police. However, this guy took matters into his own hands by chasing the burglar with a frying pan to dish out some justice. Even after the police arrived, he kept up the chase. Here's what went down. Home security footage from Chicago shows a man named Jason Williams chasing an intruder out of his house with a large, heavy frying pan. It was Thursday, and Williams was just returning to his Logan Square home when his security app alerted him to a potential break-in. He grabbed the frying pan and confronted the would-be burglar, chasing him right out of the house. Officers arrived soon after and arrested the suspect. Williams was almost a statistic, one of the over 10,000 burglaries and robberies that occur each year in Chicago. The video captures the suspect slowly walking out of the home before breaking into a sprint upon realizing that an armed Williams was hot in pursuit. Williams chased the suspect around the neighboring yards and even took a swing at him. Police arrived just seconds after the suspect ran outside the gate, and the suspect was taken into custody after surrendering. People who work at McDonald's sometimes have to deal with really bizarre and unsettling situations. This video, taken by a customer, shows a guy who's lost it and starts to destroy a service counter.
You're taking the money out of the thing. Did you get the money out of the thing?
Oh look!
Nobody knows exactly why or what set him off, but he looks completely out of control.
Now how are we gonna work?
No idea.
As if that wasn't enough, he even climbs over the counter, gets too close to the staff, and then starts hitting and throwing things.
When you go in your daughter's room, and she says, "Mommy, you've got a bunch of spiders up there." Little baby's one, and it's like, "Oh, that's not too bad. It's just like maybe 50, 60. But then she says, "Look in the other corner. There's more. And they're alive."
It's a reality that many houses, especially older ones, have insects living inside them. However, this scene is way more disturbing than finding a single spider. Apparently, this woman found a whole bunch of spiders coming out from inside the walls. The number of spiders is insane, and honestly, I can't understand how she remains so calm in a scene that seems like it's straight out of a horror movie.
I think the baby huntsman, I'm not sure. They're so cute.
Needs to be turned around. You almost set my house on fire.
Set your house on fire.
You that was reflecting the sunlight.
This woman was convinced her neighbor was trying to burn down her house. How? With a mirror. She has certainly earned the title of the craziest Karen, believing her house is being torched by a mirror. Unfazed, the neighbor confronts Karen.
These are the biggest nut jobs I have ever encountered in my life.
You come over when the sun's shining and you feel my siding. It is hotter than hell.
You think that mirror is going to set your house on fire?
Yes, I know it will.
Okay. This lady here thinks this mirror is going to set her house on fire over there.
And make sure that you tell them that it's the direct sunlight in the mornings, okay?
Okay, well, if you had came and asked me nicely, it wouldn't have been a problem. But when your husband comes over here and threatens to bust my property, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, is she really going to call the police to report that her neighbor is burning her house down with a mirror? Judge for yourself.
The dude's coming onto my property to what looks like rob my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. And let me show you that.
This man claims to have witnessed a time traveler. He first grew concerned when he noticed a man walking onto his property, potentially with the aim of robbing his house. However, the intruder walks into the backyard and enters the homeowner's shed. The police arrive on scene, but when they check the shed, there is no one to be found. The homeowner claims to have watched the footage 1,000,000 times and says the intruder never left the shed, but where did he go? Is there a portal to another realm in there? Or is there a perfectly reasonable explanation, like a gap in the surveillance footage?
I literally watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see him in there, and like it blows my mind. Like I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in that shed. Let me know what you think, because I'm like perplexed, flabbergasted.
This lady was going about her working day, arranging her shop when she was very lucky to escape unharmed.
These little girls have continued to incite a mob, and I've been harassed all day.
So she came up, did that, and then she touches me, or she does that, and then she says, "You're underage, you should probably hide that." If you think I'm underage, why are you touching a minor at all? Especially if you think I don't have underwear on.
Yeah, the logic wasn't there.
No.
Honestly, I was thinking she was a minor, and she should probably keep it covered because of the kids that were...
But also, a minor to minor is a lot different than an adult to a minor. It'd be worse if she was an adult, no?
Well, no.
It's clear that some people, often called Karens, can take things too far. And this case is especially startling. They often believe they can handle situations on their own when they think something inappropriate is happening. For example, this woman assaulted a teenager to protect other children from what she considered an inappropriate outfit. However, she didn't realize that her actions, which she thought were just, actually led to her arrest. Let's go back in time to understand what happened. A Utah woman named Ida Ann Lorenzo was arrested for assault after a confrontation in a restaurant with a young woman. A group of girls made a TikTok video that quickly went viral, in which they claimed Lorenzo, whom they labeled a Karen, pulled on the miniskirt of one of the girls and told her to cover up. Facing cyber harassment because of the video, the 48-year-old went to the St. George Police Department seeking help. She explained that she felt compelled to take action because children were present, and claimed that the customers at the steakhouse applauded her actions.
Are you Ida?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Good to meet you. So, these little girls have continued to incite a mob, and I've been harassed all day. Not only did they took it down from St. George Post and her Facebook, but now she put it on Instagram, and now she put it on TikTok.
Okay.
No, remember you look at my Instagram account, and they've been harassing me all day. So I turn notifications off and everything, but they are trying to reach out to they're inciting someone that reaches out for personal information to people to get their personal information, or someone that is known to like hunt people down.
Okay. FBI?
Not FBI, but someone that can, I don't know, how do you...
Your best legal defense is to reach out to them and say, do not contact me. The police have been notified. If you reach out to me again, that will be a crime. And it's clear.
Okay.
And if they continue to message you, they can say, hello. It could say, ha ha, Class B misdemeanor. I can understand that things got blown out of proportion, and I can understand your standpoint from it, but I guess what do you want me to do?
Well, the post needs to come down and they need to
That's freedom of
stop.
speech. There's no crime.
Not when
They can say whatever they want.
No, but I mean, they're reaching me. All their little friends.
Have you told them to stop talking to you?
No, because.
Try that.
No, because then that is me instigating them.
But that's the only way that they can be harassing you. If you tell them to not contact you and then they contact you, then that's criminal.
Well,
If you don't say anything and you're engaging in it, then this is just a civil banter that the unfortunate thing is you're held to a little bit higher standard than that.
Oh, but then if I engage in a conversation, then that makes it appear like
You don't have to.
I am.
I'm just telling you, I can't do much. Legally, I can't tell them to stop posting anything.
However, the next day, the teens gave their version of events to the police.
So she came up, did that, and then she touches me, or she does that, and then she says, "You're underage, you should probably hide that. If you think I'm underage, why are you touching a minor at all? Especially if you think I don't have underwear on."
Yeah, the logic wasn't there.
No.
For me. That's why I was wondering when you mentioned that you thought she might be drinking, I thought there was a judgment issue maybe going on too.
Right. And then she came back up a second time after Avery came up. Our other friend Avery, fun fact, same name, she was standing right next to her. And the second time she came up, she touched both their hips and squeezed them, like pinched us, and said she was going to call Child Protective Services if she saw them. And then the rest was on video.
I saw the video and I think 57,000 other people saw it too.
Yeah.
When the first time, she never said anything, you turned around, when the first touch, was that just skirt or was that your body?
No, that was my body and my skirt.
After reviewing the security footage, the police asked Lorenzo to return for further questioning and then arrested her.
Okay, so I told you I'd do a full investigation if they came forward, right? So they came forward with their side of the story, I only had yours. After listening to everything going on, I've talked to Sakura, I got some of their video, I've got the TikToks, I think most everybody in the city has that TikTok. And then we've got your statement, her statement, so I'll try to make it as unbiased and fair as I can, right? I do have some concerns from what I've been told by them. Obviously some things you've also told to me, right? Even when we talk two wrongs don't make a right, when we're talking about that, I said, there's criminal behavior that's happened, regardless. And the other aspect was, if she was exposed and there was a lewdness aspect, would I investigate it? Absolutely. And that was the other claim, right? That was our two little things. The electronic communication harassment we've addressed. Everything that's come in now is going to be from who knows where. They even mentioned that I don't even live in the country, some of these text messages that you're getting. If anything comes in further, you're probably going to have to report that to Santa Clara where you live for the electronic side, because that's going to be now an internet-related crime. Typically with something like this where I don't have video, if I didn't have video footage, it'd probably be going a different route with this, because there's video footage and because of the claims made, and I have to protect victims. Today you're going to be placed under arrest for sexual battery. Okay? So that's the unfortunate side of all this.
You're arresting me?
Yeah, right now you are under arrest, okay? So you'll just face my sergeant and you put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Don't reach in your purse, please.
No, I was just trying to put that.
Okay. Just follow those instructions.
And just relax your hands, sir.
Now, let's see what Lorenzo had to say to the police, as captured on the police body cam footage.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was honestly thinking she was a minor, and she should probably keep it covered because of the kids that were...
But also a minor to minor is a lot different than an adult to a minor. It'd be worse if she was an adult, no?
Well, no, I was looking at it from a mother's perspective.
The clear lesson from this story is that you can't claim justice by assaulting other people, especially when it involves children. It makes absolutely no sense. As we just saw, McDonald's can be the setting for some really sad and disturbing events, and here's another example. In 2022, a man tried to run down a woman, and it was all captured by the McDonald's security camera. You can see the man crash his car while chasing her through the glass of the restaurant. He gets out of the car and starts chasing her again. even tries to attack the manager. "5 minutes later, the suspect jumps into the car and leaves. Apparently, the victim is the suspect's girlfriend. He was obsessed with the idea of her cheating on him and had repeatedly threatened to do this if she didn't get back together with him. The footage from Garland, Texas shows a young man robbing a convenience store on, of all days, the day after Christmas. To make matters worse, the assailant was just 14 years old. On top of that, he may have had help from his father. The disturbing footage shows the victim standing around in the convenience store, minding their own business. Apparently, they had previously been involved in an incident with the assailant. At one point, the suspect's father can be seen walking into the store, at which point he makes a small purchase and then drives to the back of the parking lot. It's then alleged that his son exits the car, goes up to the door, and fires 20 rounds, killing 3 of the 4 people inside. If I had neighbors like this, I'd rather live under a rock by myself. Surveillance footage captured how one neighbor crashed his car into their pool. Maybe the driver was just too high and wanted a quick swim. We'll never know. People usually steal things of value, but this neighbor went overboard when she decided to take lawn decorations. I mean, why would she do that? It's clear she didn't know that she was being recorded, and I bet she was really embarrassed when she got caught. Okay, so this video is tough to watch. A truck is shown dumping its entire load into a river, and it's not just a little litter. It's full, and everything goes right into the water. Watching this video really upsets me, and I can't help but wonder why someone would do this. A lot of people on Reddit have speculated that rich countries might pay poorer countries to take the trash because it's cheaper than recycling. If you know anything about this, let me know in the comments. As we've seen during the video, sometimes customers can be really mean. However, this employee took things way too far. In Lakeland, a McDonald's employee was arrested after she started shooting at customers following a dispute at the drive-thru window, according to police. Chastity Gardner, 22, of Lakeland, was booked into the Polk County Jail on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The incident occurred on June 14th at around 1 a.m. Lakeland police officers responded to reports of a shooting at the fast food restaurant located on East Memorial Boulevard. Surveillance footage shows Gardner getting into an argument with the customers and throwing a drink at them as they were leaving. 2 of the customers got out of their vehicle, opened the drive-thru window, and began throwing drinks at Gardner, who then armed herself with a gun. A different security camera captured Gardner exiting the restaurant with a gun in hand. While outside, officers reported that Gardner fired the weapon at the vehicle as it was leaving the area, striking the vehicle once. Let's keep the fun rolling for a few minutes. Here's another would-be thief walking up to the register and attempting to pull out a gun. However, the incredibly brave clerk simply puts his hand down, pushing the weapon away and pulling his own. With cold still an inch from his face, the robber decides to do the smart thing and walk away. Perhaps the real crime here is that you could still smoke in stores when this was filmed. Most criminals are smart enough to put on their mask before walking up to the register to demand money. This guy, he has a different approach. Though there's no sound to the video, he actually appears to greet the clerk before donning his Guy Fawkes mask. As if to solidify the fact this guy doesn't know how robbery is supposed to go, he simply pays for his items and walks out. Dude, come back! You forgot to do the stealing part! The security cameras at McDonald's have captured some really disturbing moments, as we've seen before. In this incident, 2 employees were cooking a burger when the frying pan caught fire. Everything seemed manageable, and the 2 employees appeared to be handling the situation. But then, suddenly, the frying pan decided the flames weren't enough and boom! It exploded so powerfully that even the security camera blurred and the video ended. I just hope that no one was injured. Not even Big Mac.
So I was best friends with him for 7 years, and then never in a relationship, nothing else.
So it's just a friend.
And it was, but we haven't talked for years, and he kept showing up.
Is he welcome here though?
No.
Have you ever invited him here?
No, he was my best friend for 7. He's even met him before, and then he just lost his. A friend 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in 2 years.
Just kind of infatuated with her and.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him in 2 years?
But he keeps popping up. I stopped talking to him in 2 years. I got these.
Have you told him not to come around?
Yeah, plenty of times.
He was in this back patio.
Yes, he was in the back patio.
And he was trying to get through the.
Yeah, he looked through the window. This window was looking through all the windows, and I saw him there. I told to run because he kept on trying to have a conversation and trying to pull the door open.
On March 24th, 2023, an officer responded to a disturbance call from a woman who claimed she was being stalked. Apparently, the suspect had become obsessed with the woman, calling her endlessly and trying to contact her through social media. Things then escalated when the stalker attempted to gain entry into the woman's home. The man had evaded police when they were en route to the address, but he was later taken into custody when the officer spotted his truck and pulled him over. While sitting in the police car, the stalker tries to tell his side of the story, but it comes off as creepy and disturbing.
You need to record this?
Huh?
No.
I have to record all prisoners.
Okay. She said, I don't want to be friends anymore. You've pushed it too far. which I didn't think I'd asked that many times, but okay. She, I think she blocked my number, so I tried emailing her. And she blocked me on that, and then she blocked me on all social media, so, I mean, I've had no way to contact her except to show up. And here's the funny and confusing thing, that she's told me before that if I ever really just wanted to talk to her, then to just come talk to her. She's told me that in the past. I mean, like I said, man, I really wasn't trying to cause any trouble. I really just wanted my best friend to talk to me. And now I'm sitting here with you, with cuffs on, and the back of a cruiser. My truck's been towed. Like, dude, I was just trying to see if I could talk to her, and if not, I was going to go about my day, go about my life.
Ultimately, the creep was charged with burglary to an occupied dwelling and stalking. Hopefully, this was enough to deter him from carrying out similar or potentially worse actions in the future. Some quick thinking by neighbors in Mongolia saved the life of a man whose apartment had caught on fire. They worked together to move a parked car from underneath the window before stretching out a sheet and encouraging the man to jump down. I bet he's glad to have neighbors like these. Many of us have had disputes with our neighbors, and this one crossed all boundaries of normal neighborly disagreements and ended in a fatal shooting. Let's rewind to understand what happened. Police were called to the scene, and body cam footage captured the initial interactions between the officers, Owens and Lawrence.
What's going on this evening?
Lots of children screaming their full heads off, running around. I had my truck parked in front here, so I didn't have to listen to the screaming and yelling. As soon as I moved the truck, the kids are coming up. I'm like, guys, stop. They know they're not supposed to be over here.
Ike Owens, a mother of four, and Suzanne Louise Lawrence were neighbors with a history of tension. Lawrence had frequently complained about Owens' children playing near her property, viewing their presence as a disturbance. On the day of the incident, tensions escalated. Lawrence accused Owens' children of trespassing and making noise close to her home. She confronted the children and reportedly threw an object at them. This action infuriated her further. Angered by Lawrence's behavior towards her children, Owens went to Lawrence's house to discuss the situation, as any concerned neighbor would.
I said, go wherever you live. Listen, you're not going to knock. His mother comes over here. If you treat my son like that again, I'm going to rip your ass out and go beat you up.
What's going on, y'all?
That's the mom that went over there and spoke with her.
Okay. Y'all on school break yet?
Yeah.
When'd that start?
Like last Friday. Yeah.
I know some people aren't starting until tomorrow.
Yeah. Guys, some stuff, Peter.
Yeah. Oh, we got dog duty over here.
Wait, hold on. Oh my God, did you? I'm so sorry.
So close.
Thank God.
Usually happens every shift, so.
Right there, bro.
I know, I gotta pick it up.
Okay. So,
Now we're clear.
were you the guys that this lady was mad about?
Yes, and I just want to say that every time, like even
Hey,
if we're not.
hold on. Let's bring it down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Every time, even if we're not on our property and we're just like being loud and playing basketball over there because there's a basketball
I
hoop,
got you.
like she just calls us names.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally, all the kids, because that's an open spot right there.
Yeah.
all that is not her property.
I got
The
you.
guy that I was just telling this officer right here, this guy has said numerous times, y'all come over here and play, because they all like to play football and stuff.
Okay.
So he's okay with it, and that's where they mainly are. They're more on his side.
Whose mom are you? Any of them?
Well, they're all mine. I'm saying no.
Hey.
My kids aren't really here, but they're always outside playing with them.
There is still someone with a gun.
She's inside.
Okay.
Where?
Bro, where? Ex-military. She's in that house, bro. That apartment. Right here. This first apartment.
Sheriff's office, come outside with your hands up! This is the Marion County Sheriff's Office, come outside with your hands up! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Turn around! Turn around! Where's your gun at?
You got hands? You got hands?
You're going to be detained.
Is there anybody else in the house?
There's somebody else in the house. Can I just get my daughter?
No, not right now.
All right.
You're not under arrest, you're being detained.
Okay, I understand.
Come over here.
Oh, wait, can close the door? I have two cats inside.
Hold
I
on.
don't want the cats still running around.
Unfortunately, the situation took a tragic turn. Lawrence, from inside her home, shot Owens through the door. Owens was unarmed and had simply approached to resolve the ongoing issues. The incident led to charges against Lawrence, sparking discussion about self-defense, neighborhood disputes, and the role of law enforcement in de-escalating such conflicts. Imagine you're heading to your morning shift, and while ordering your breakfast, you witness two cars crashing right in front of you.
Hi, can I please get a medium mocha, full cream milk with 2 sugars?
Medium mocha.
Yep, and then could I get the ham and cheese toasty add-on?
So, do you want anything else?
Yeah, ham and cheese toasty add-on.
However, it was too early to deal with the situation because the woman starts talking about her toasty again right after noticing the crash. Definitely too early to handle these situations. Now, let's move over to New Hampshire, where a 35-year-old man was arrested twice within a span of 2 hours. What sort of crime spree was this man on? Well, it all started around 10 p.m. the previous night, where footage shows the suspect reacting violently to a store clerk, immediately throwing things and causing extensive damage around the store. This apparently went on for a whopping 5 minutes before the police arrived to stop the man, who even threw a carton of cigarettes at the cop. When you're somewhere strange, in a new country, surrounded by new people, many people search for something fun to do, someone fun. Truthfully, maybe there is something exciting about the potential of someone you never have to see again because you'll be across the country or even across oceans. But is it worth the risk? Maureen Wright was working in Australia from her home country of New Zealand. This is where she connected with Gable Toste on the popular dating app Tinder. Gable had long since been recording his conquests, boasting an impressive record with women in his online communities. He claimed he wanted to hook up with as many women as possible, noting that it boosted his confidence. He had audio recordings of every date, including the fated outing with Maureen Wright. Things started usually. They went out for drinks before returning back to his home. However, things quickly soured between the young couple. Warina seemingly became more inebriated than she could handle. She was later determined to have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.156 at death. Around 1:29 a.m., things had become violent. Toste began to complain about her aggressive behavior, blaming himself for giving her so much alcohol. They tried to defuse things multiple times, but eventually, things seemed to come to a head. According to Toste, she attacked him with a telescope before eventually leading off to the balcony.
You think you can hit me and I'll just like fall down like in the movies? Huh? You don't understand, do you? Let go of it. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Who the f*** do you think you are?
Some of the recordings include Toste claiming if you fell off the balcony, you'd undoubtedly die, as well as him later saying, "This is bullshit. You're lucky I haven't chucked you off the balcony." Neighbors reported hearing screams from Warina above, and one neighbor even saw her legs dangling from the balcony, only to not be able to respond quickly enough as the young woman plummeted to her death. At one point, the recording catches the sound of the balcony door opening, with Wright repeatedly begging Toste to let her go home. While Warina had fallen to her death, Toste went out for a slice of pizza. In an interview several years later, Gable explained the thought process. He was terrified of it looking like he had killed her and didn't want to attract attention.
I ate. I had been wandering around the streets, confused, extremely drunk and in shock, and I needed to clear my head and sober up. And so I found a place that had some food.
So why didn't you go out on the balcony to check to see if she was okay?
Instinctively, I knew that if I ran out there and somebody saw me looking over the edge and she had actually fallen all the way, it would look like, it would not look good. It would look like I had forced her over or something.
So you were worried about what it would look like for you?
Of course I was worried about her. I was absolutely terrified at what had just happened to her.
Instead of phoning emergency services, he called his lawyer, and when his lawyer didn't pick up, he phoned his father.
You were so deeply concerned, Gable, that from her death scream to the next event, which was you calling your lawyer, was 35 seconds.
I froze on the spot and I thought, I need to do whatever is the most rational thing to do at the moment. I need advice.
It was a lengthy trial that questioned whether Gable had killed her or if he'd simply forced her to act in fear, and the woman had merely slipped. The question was simple. Was it Gable's fault if she tried to climb down? If she was afraid, could he be blamed? In the end, Gable was found not guilty. The jury, though briefly upset by the possibility of a mistrial due to one juror posting on Instagram, had reached a unanimous decision. While the circumstances surrounding Warina's death were unfortunate, they weren't opaque enough for things to be ruled murder or manslaughter. The ordeal took a solid 26 months to settle before the family could finally return home and adequately process the loss of their daughter. Sometimes, quick overseas fun can be just that. Just fun between two adults, and we can leave it at that. Unfortunately, Tinder has a way of connecting people in good and bad habits, and there's no real way to know which. Graduation is a proud moment for any student and their parents. This one, however, was ruined by a racist father who rushed the stage to prevent the black superintendent from shaking his daughter's hand.
Oh. Excuse me. Where's Brendan?
Man, you better get up
Where's
off me,
Brendan?
man.
Where's Brendan?
Get away from me, bro.
No,
Hey, you need to get, hey,
Walk away.
get off. You gotta get off. Out right now. You are there. I don't care. Get off the stage right now. Get
That way, Michael. No. Where's Brendan? Whose dad is that?
Brendan's.
Okay. Who's up? All right, let's keep going with these great grads.
Okay, so this might be the weirdest neighbor you could have. A tiger.
No. Get the back inside. I don't know who the this is. Get back inside.
Can you imagine? Well, in Houston, a neighbor illegally kept a pet tiger that got loose. The neighbors were absolutely terrified, and I get it. Having a cat is one thing. Having a tiger is something else entirely. Have you ever wondered why you can't have metal on you during an MRI? Well, if you're not sure why, here's a video that shows exactly what happens when metal gets near an MRI machine, and it's pretty startling. For your own safety, make sure you don't have any metal on you during an MRI, or you might end up flying like an alien heading back to its mothership. Accidents can happen, like this one in the Netherlands. A Ring doorbell camera caught the moment a house exploded due to a gas leak. I would definitely want my neighbors to keep an eye on things like gas lines to prevent anything from blowing up in the neighborhood. Not cool at all.
Obama! Barack Obama! Come on now! I got a gun in here! I got a gun right here to kill Joe Biden! Where's the Secret Service? I want to kill Travis Kelce! Kill Travis Kelce! Ah! Ah! Go to
Big cities are full of weird moments, situations, and people. Take this guy, for example. He was standing on the street without a shirt, yelling like crazy that he had a gun in his guitar case at the president's fundraiser.
Hey, can I see that? Can I see that?
He looked completely out of his mind and ended up getting arrested.
Bye-bye, sir.
On March 6, 2024 at 3:01 a.m., officers from the Fullerton Police Department were called to a McDonald's at 1341 South Brookhurst Road. They responded to reports of two men at the entrance, possibly under the influence of drugs. The manager, concerned for the safety of employees arriving for work, alerted the authorities. Upon arrival, officers encountered a shirtless 50-year-old man named Alejandro Campos Rios, who was uncooperative and began swinging a belt at them.
What are you doing? Hey. Hey. What's your name, man? What's your name? Hey, gray shirt. What's your name, man? What is he on? What is he on? Hey, what's your name, dude? Can you start us another email? He's extremely electrified.
As the situation escalated, Rios, clearly under the influence, was not making any sense and wasn't cooperating with the officers, so the officer used a weapon against him.
Hey, I'm gonna tase you, dude. Taser.
Talk ground!
Drop the belt! Drop the belt! Drop it!
After that, Rios was taken to a hospital where he later passed away. What are your thoughts on this incident? Do you think it could have been handled differently? Let me know. On March 11, 2023, an officer-involved shooting took place with a barricaded suspect in Charlotte, North Carolina. Afterwards, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department released a critical incident briefing that documented the event. Several people had called the police that day reporting a man named Anthai who was threatening locals.
Charlotte 911, do you need police, fire, or medic?
I need police.
And what's going on that you'll need the police?
Well, my neighbor is threatening me, threatening to kill me, threatening to kill police. I have it on video. We're scared.
Okay, and when you say he's threatening you, is he doing it in person, on the phone? What is he?
On the phone with a megaphone. He's out in front of his yard.
Charlotte 911, do you need police, fire, or medic?
I need police. I need to file a communicating threats report. I'm working with CMPD crisis response team, and our neighbor is threatening us currently, and the officer with crisis response told us to call 911 to file a police report.
Anthai was already known to police and had a warrant for similar incidents in the past. Upon approaching his property, the suspect has barricaded himself in home and is communicating via megaphone. The suspect's mother comes out and informs the police that her son is armed. This would result in a standoff that lasted for over 30 hours.
Sit pill.
He has pills?
Sit the gun, have the sick.
Revolver.
Yeah.
Police attempt to negotiate with Anthai to get him to surrender. However, he does not.
It's the time. It's the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. We're outside. We're not going anywhere. We need you to step outside with your hands up. Nothing in your hands.
A SWAT team then arrives on scene and sends drones onto the property, but these are destroyed by the suspect with a baseball bat. During hour 9 of the standoff, Anthai comes to the doorway with a gun in hand.
He's trying to put the door back up, it looks like. Gun in his left hand. Shot out.
We want to make sure you're okay. We need you to come down to the front door with nothing in your hand.
This is perceived as a lethal threat, and he is shot with a single bullet by a SWAT officer. Anthai then retreats and calls the police, telling them that he is Lucifer and that he is in heaven.
Charlotte 911, do you need police, fire, or medic?
I saw the police shot a person because he was holding a gun and pointing at the police. And the police shot him, he's dead. I need to make a police report.
Okay, well, where are you at so we can make that report?
I'm in heaven.
Oh, okay.
I'm a ghost. Yes, my name is Lucifer. I'm not real, alright? I'm in heaven.
Okay.
And I saw, I'm the messenger of God, alright? God, the Holy Bible.
Further negotiations are unsuccessful, but eventually, as they see Anthai walking down the stairs of the property, the SWAT team fires chemicals into the top floor of the building.
I got cuffs.
That's why I didn't need no rap. That's why I did my back. That's cheating. That's why I did my back. That's cheating.
This essentially smokes him out, and 30 hours after the ordeal began, Anthai emerges and is finally arrested. No charges were filed against the officer who shot Thai, and the suspect was taken for a mental health evaluation with legal charges pending. Here's another woman doing the exact same thing. Though this time, there's no telling what could have possibly set her off. She could be seen screaming and swearing at the clerk while he is, presumably, on the phone with 911.
You think I give a about it? Yeah. Y'all niggas got the right plan. This is boy can't even handle a female. You fuck wrong with you?
The clerks did at least attempt to lock her inside the store, but that only resulted in her breaking the window and climbing out.
She's here. She's still here. 514. 511. Gas station. She has just left already. She has a goddamn suitcase with her. She's which way is that?
She was soon arrested after and hopefully treated for what we can assume is mental illness or a severe anger management problem. Some people don't like being told no. Take this guy, for example, who was rejected by a girl and started causing trouble. After the girl's friend hit him and pushed him away, you can see him pausing to think about what to do next. Suddenly, he opens his bag and pulls out an axe.
Nah, I ain't gonna fight. He look like he about to get I said it.
Bro, please, go. Back up.
The whole scene turns surreal as he begins threatening people and wrecking the restaurant.
Yo, tell, he gonna tell you. You better tell, boy. Yo, I'm not stopping. I got the grip. Oh, you got the now who's the bit? Now who's the bit?
See, look, that's why I keep my knife on me all the time, man. Shit like this, you never know. I know, man.
You try to
What amazes me most is that the people just stand there, watching, laughing, and even filming, but nobody's helping. It looks like something out of a Black Mirror episode. At one point, the guy with the axe even confronts a girl, threatens her with the axe, and smashes the table in front of her. This kind of person shouldn't even be allowed on the streets. Male Karens can be pretty imaginative and original too. This one was angry with a bus driver because he demanded the bus pull over and let him on. Instead of waiting, he decided to jump onto the hood of the bus while it was still moving. Why would he ask for the bus to pull over if he's already hitching a ride? Let's hope he at least got a free ride out of it.
Que por problemas de mujeres. Son de mujeres, no te metas, no te metas. Mira, Valedor, no vengas a mi casa. Tú tampoco, ni te dejes una no vengas a mi casa.
This neighborhood argument escalated way too far when a man accidentally shot his neighbor during the heated exchange.
Puta madre, güey. Así te lo digo, güey. Así te lo digo. Yo tengo miedo. Yo tampoco tengo miedo, güey.
The guy was holding a gun in his hand and suddenly it went off, hitting his neighbor. So, the lesson here is simple. If you don't want to accidentally fire a gun, don't hold one during an argument. Surveillance footage from inside a Youngstown apartment building in Ohio captured the devastating moment when a gas explosion occurred. Residents, including a mother and her 10-month-old son, can be seen evacuating the building as sirens sound just minutes before the blast.
A fire has been reported in the building. Please.
Like, I don't really see anybody evacuating. I don't really smell any smoke. I don't see any fire. So I was kind of like, well, maybe this is like a false alarm. As soon as we exit the building, we probably took a matter of 2 steps. And next thing you know, kaboom, like the building just explodes behind us.
According to reports, a gas line had accidentally been cut, and just 6 minutes later, the building was rocked by an almighty boom. Sadly, many people were unable to get out in time. 7 people were injured, and 1 person did not survive.
A fire has been reported in the building. Please.
Start on it. Ja, triple it. Viktig melding. Viktig melding.
When 2 robbers tried evading Norwegian police by cutting through the park, they didn't bank on the cops' incredible driving skills.
Pass på tredjeperson. Kjør! Slutt å prate!
The policeman pursues them through the park and over a bridge before catching up to them and knocking them down as they turn onto a dirt path. Now, this is how you police. If Ronald McDonald is already surrounded by creepy stories, what about this? In Poland, this supposedly amusing figure walks through McDonald's to cheer up the kids.
What is that?
But honestly, I find it pretty creepy and disturbing, definitely not amusing. What are your thoughts on this? Here's another dose of creepy figures at McDonald's. Take a close look at this one. It has 4 arms and a huge nose. I find it anything but amusing. It seems like McDonald's isn't aiming for cheerful figures. Instead, they seem to have a thing for these creepy ones. Do you think they do it on purpose? Here's another deadly convenience store scene, this time from Austin, Texas. Body cam footage shows police responding to a call at a gas station where a clerk was being held hostage by a man. The altercation starts when the officer spotted the suspect in a stolen car, causing him to run into the store where he held one clerk hostage while another escaped.
Get your hands up!
Gun!
205, he's got a gun.
Surveillance cameras captured the man shooting at police and pacing nervously around the store, even throwing lighter fluid on the ground. In total, the standoff lasted 4 hours before the suspect was shot and killed by a SWAT sniper.
Shot taken, suspect is down.
This YouTuber records himself testing the durability and quality of many different phones. In one video, he tested an iPhone 11 by dropping it into a hot spring. When he uploaded the video, many viewers noticed that the phone captured a really bizarre audio clip that sounds like the screams of a dying person. Listen closely. What do you think that sound was? The video I'm talking about shows a guy causing a building already damaged by an earthquake to collapse by throwing a stone. He keeps throwing stones until the building finally gives way and crumbles. Do you think it really collapsed because of the stone, or was there something else at play? Let me know what you think in the comments. If I saw this on my surveillance footage, I'd definitely freak out. This family caught a man peeping through the window, trying to watch people get undressed. Creepy, right? Even creepier is that the peeping guy is their neighbor. When confronted, the suspect's wife insisted that he doesn't do such things and that it wasn't him.
That didn't look like him at all to you?
No, because my husband don't go out without a bandana. Every time he goes out, he has a bandana, but he doesn't go out at night.
What are your thoughts on this? Mayfly season is the worst. At least it was for this guy who had to clean up a swarm of the insects from his property in northern Ohio. Apparently, the flies smell like rotting fish if you don't get rid of them quickly. Another officer-involved shooting occurred in Alameda County, California on October 24, 2022. The Hayward Police Department was alerted to an armed man who had shown up at his ex-girlfriend's property.
Okay,
Okay, what's going on, honey?
So my doorbell just rang. It was my daughter's ex-boyfriend, and he came in here and he showed me a gun. I kicked him out, but he's still like ringing our doorbell. My neighbor told me he's like banging on our door right now.
Okay.
He's banging on the door right now. And my 2-year-old is here screaming.
Is it a handgun?
Yes.
Did he point it at you?
He showed it to me. He didn't point it to me. And he's telling me he needs the keys to the car. What keys to the car? He has no car here. He's like banging on our door.
Hayward 911, what is the address of the emergency?
Gary Drive.
Uh-huh.
I just saw a man shooting a gun into a black car in our parking lot.
You said you saw him shooting a gun into a black car?
Yes, from my bedroom window.
Okay. Did you see where he went?
No, he's gone now. He was all in black, and some other car's pulling away right now. That may be the man.
Can you tell me what car is pulling away?
It's a gray car. That's all I could see.
Could you see a 2-door, 4-door SUV?
It looks like two-door.
And did you see which way the car drove off? Like towards...
It went back toward getting out of the villa.
Towards the Castro Alley side?
Yeah.
Shots were fired by the suspect and police pursued him along Highway 580. They managed to block the suspect's vehicle, although a police officer's leg became pinned between the patrol car and the suspect's Mercedes.
Trying to put that foot down. He's armed with a gun. He's armed with a gun.
Body cam footage shows the moment the suspect takes off on foot.
Get shot! You're gonna get shot! You're gonna get shot! Drop it! Drop it! Don't! You're gonna get shot if you go in that car! You're gonna get shot!
When he tried to hijack a passing woman's car, that's when a police officer opens fire.
Shots fired.
The officer fired 3 rounds into the suspect, who was later pronounced dead at the hospital. 2 officers were treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and the last we know, the incident was still under investigation. Here's something you don't see every day. This footage from Anacostia, a historic town in Greater DC, shows a gas explosion that completely destroyed a small convenience store. The firefighters in the footage had been working to deal with a problem when the store unexpectedly blew up, injuring 1 person. The good news is that at least the firefighters were already there and ready to put out the resulting flames. And again, we have someone making a scene. This one, Karen, goes beyond anything you've seen before. Karen got fed up with a worker, apparently over some chicken nuggets. Yes, you heard that right. Karen steps out of the car and hits the worker.
Unless you're speaking McNuggets in my hand, I don't want to hear it.
It's 10:30 a.m. We don't serve chicken McNuggets at this time.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Why not?
Because we do.
You know what? Did you just listen to me? I didn't want to just you.
You just get me out of the car. What's going on over there?
Don't you away from me, you family.
She tries so hard to get inside to where the worker is, but luckily the manager shows up and helps his colleague. The poor worker got hit multiple times, and suddenly Karen became even more enraged and started yelling, losing her mind completely. She starts screaming that she wants her nuggets and even threatens to eat the worker's face and digest it.
Oh my god! The fuck is this bitch up? Holy.
What's going on? Did she like get burnt by her apple pie or something?
What a threat, right? I don't know if this woman was on something or just lost her mind, but I have never seen anyone act like this over some chicken nuggets. Here's another reason you should choose your roommates carefully. The poster claims he was searching for his dishes and found these disgusting leftovers that his roommate had been sleeping next to for a week. The smell alone made him retch and almost throw up. It's a fact that people do weird things at McDonald's, and we've seen enough to prove it. Even if you need more proof, just watch this video. A man was in a McDonald's bathroom and decided to blow up the toilet. The reason? I don't know, and he probably doesn't either. The girl who filmed this footage felt her spidey senses tingling, so she turned on a camera, put her phone in her back pocket, and managed to catch the creep who was filming her and making her skin crawl.
Hi, come on back.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you? I gotta get your temperature. Responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than the oil giants like Exxon, Shell, and BP. The top 4 dairy companies are responsible for...
In the UK, 3 teenagers who claim to be vegan activists start dumping milk in a grocery store. They were advocating for animal rights, which is admirable, but what they actually did was waste food and create a mess in the store. They poured all the milk from the bottles onto the floor, causing chaos with milk covering the ground. Take a closer look at the boy holding a sign. I don't think he's sure about what they're doing. If you watch until the end of the video, you'll notice the boy disappears and the sign ends up on the floor.
We talk about peaceful protest and non-violence, we just don't have the injustice of an industry. Milk is not simple to human consumption. When cows are taken from their mothers, when baby cows are taken from their mothers, when mothers are forcibly impregnated. This is a peaceful protester with the campaign Animal Rebellion and we're taking direct action to pull up the dairy industry. We are not violent.
We've done every means, other democratic means, they don't work. We've tried voting, we've tried...
It seems he had second thoughts about promoting the planet's future while wasting so much food. This disturbing footage shows a stabbing that occurred outside of a store in the greater Cleveland area. To make matters worse, the victim was just 3 years old. Video from earlier shows the person who committed the attack walking into a police station, pushing her own wheelchair, which has a suitcase on it. Apparently, the fact that she was at a police station had nothing to do with what would happen next. The woman then walks to a thrift store, where she steals 2 knives and decides to go strolling through the store with them. Amazingly, nobody seems to notice. It's at this point that she sees the victim and his mother and immediately turns to follow them. Within minutes, she would attack them in their car, resulting in the death of the young body. If only someone had seen her with those knives and done something, this tragedy could have been avoided. This heartbreaking footage shows two men and what appears to be a young man picking the pockets of a 93-year-old man who had just finished shopping. The first man simply walks behind the elderly victim, reaches into his back pocket and takes his wallet with hardly any effort. Though the man immediately suspects something is wrong, he doesn't even see the men who would later use his credit cards to spend thousands on gift cards and other products. Talk about low. Waiting for your bag at the airport is usually a boring affair, but I'll take boring over this any day. Either someone brought back crabs from their holiday, or someone's getting their own back on the baggage handlers. Have you ever seen someone stealing peacocks? I bet you haven't. Well, this guy really sparked his neighbor's curiosity when they caught him on the security cameras snatching peacocks. We usually hear stories about neighbors swiping mail or maybe a lawn ornament, but peacocks? That's definitely original.
Hey! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Hands behind your back! Hands behind your back!
This thief made officers run what felt like a marathon to catch him. Here's what happened. Body cam footage captured an alleged cash thief sprinting away from police after he was accused of stealing from a business in the Atlanta area. Georgia authorities said Benny Brathwaite grabbed a fistful of money and ran when an officer confronted him. The 22-year-old led the officers on a chase into a Publix grocery store where he was eventually caught.
So $279, so we said that's the only thing that's missing, correct?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Usually when I come in, the alarm beeps, so beep, 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 and there's a time limit, that we have, but it doesn't so that it beeps.
I got you. Let me take a picture of this real quick.
Okay.
After talking to an employee and getting a description of the suspect, the officers spotted someone matching that description.
Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm doing good. Good. My name's Investigator Stoddard. I'm in the Atlanta Police Department, Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
Have you got any identification on you?
Like what?
Huh?
Like what?
Do you have any identification on you, sir? Okay, I see you have a lot of cash in your hand. Where'd you get all that money from?
No, this is one of my friends. Well, lives up at the street up there.
Lives up the street up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you take your hoodie off for me? Take your hoodie off for me, please. Is that your identification? Can you lift it up? Okay, take it off for me.
When they tried to arrest him, the chase began.
Okay. Turn around. Oh! 529 X-ray, I got one running. 2800 Peachtree Road, black male, black shirt, yellow pants, yellow shorts. Please stop! Stop! Police! I was running up to Publix. I'll be just on the left of Publix. Police, stop! Where to go? Black male, black shirt, where to go?
Proceed. Pathway, not X-ray, checking on you. Proceed.
Was it? Was it?
Pathway, not X-ray, checking on you.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Hands behind your back! Hands behind your back!
The officers briefly chased him before finally apprehending him in the grocery store. They even shared a laugh and cracked a joke about his sprinting skills.
You're faster than you look, Tony. I couldn't keep up with you, dog.
I'm sorry. I don't do police though.
You don't do police? All right, man.
Imagine heading to a drive-thru after a long day, expecting to grab a Big Mac, and suddenly you find the drive-thru engulfed in flames. Apparently, someone's car caused a fire, and it spread to McDonald's as well.
What'd you say? Hold on, I can't hear you. There's a truck on fire out here. I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the store. Just speak up for me, but how you want that burger dress with your 2 sides and what you drink of?
Can I get that meat and cheese only, please?
2 sides and your drink?
I just hope the fries didn't burn. A machete is one thing, but this convenience store clerk knows how to turn up the temperature on the would-be robbers. Literally. This brief footage shows the man improvising a flamethrower with a lighter and aerosol can the moment he sees the thieves enter the store. Both of the men panic and immediately run back out, leaving this clerk to fight another day. A truck driver in the UK had 1 or maybe 10 too many beers before getting behind the wheel. He was caught on camera crashing into multiple cars and buildings while driving through the streets of High Wycombe on the 7th of June 2024. The 34-year-old driver was later arrested on suspicion of drunk driving, dangerous driving, driving without a license, and failing to stop after a road collision.
Hala.
He's currently on bail, but I highly doubt he can talk his way out of this one. On June 4th, 2024, Bend police officers received a call about a naked woman approaching the outside of a home where a 2-year-old child was present. Let's dive into what happened when the officers arrived. When the officers got to the scene, they first spoke with the man who made the call.
So, what happened?
We were sitting over here, 3 of us, my wife and my 2-year-old boy, and she came walking through the yard over by my truck, took a left from up here completely naked, besides a shirt which was like draping like this, unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Right in front of my little kid, and I quickly covered his eyes. Never seen anything like that.
She knocked on my front door too, and it's like, open the, whoa, headlights are on.
Earlier though.
So,
okay.
I heard.
And does she live in?
No, in the building. Over here.
Okay, perfect.
He explained that the naked woman was his neighbor, and this wasn't the first time she had been seen in such a state. The officers listened carefully as he described the situation.
I'm going to wait for my partner to get here.
Yeah,
so, just so you guys are aware, in Oregon, you can walk around completely naked. There's no law against it as long as you're not doing it. Yes.
There's your partner.
As long as you're not doing it for your sexual gratification or the gratification of somebody else. Like, you can literally throw, we've had people throw running shoes on and dudes just go jogging naked, and there's no, if she's making an effort to look at me type thing. And
I think that's what she did. She walked straight up to us. I'm sitting with my little kid. She says, look at my body, my bare naked in front of you.
That's what she said?
No, that's what she's doing by presenting herself to us.
No, I get it. And I don't agree with it that it's okay. I'm just telling you, in Oregon, it's not a crime to do that. You can just walk around in the nude as long as you're not, it's not for a sexual manner.
The officers explained that, under Oregon law, being naked in public is not necessarily a crime unless it's done for sexual gratification. The clarification didn't sit well with the child's parents, who were uncomfortable with the laws. Another neighbor confirmed that similar incidents had occurred before.
Information, now she has a history. It wasn't but less than a month ago that you guys were here.
Okay.
I need to get a record of you saying that, because when I tell my wife, she's not going to believe that. So you're saying
I can show you the ORS, for sure.
You're saying in the state of Oregon, someone can walk up to your 2-year-old kid completely bare naked, and that's not a crime? Even if it's on your property?
Correct. Well, so it's trespassing, but what I'm saying is there's no laws against the actual nudity portion of it. So
you can expose yourself to children in Oregon.
Again, if you're not doing it for sexual gratification or the gratification of somebody else, yes, you are allowed to walk around in public naked.
It's hard to believe, because we're on private property. This is where I live, and someone just came and exposed themselves to my 2-year-old boy. And this officer's saying that it's not a crime. So any of you out there that are viewing this, please check and make sure that Oregon State revised statute says that you can expose yourself to little kids. This is unbelievable. Well, I don't even know why I bother calling you guys.
Because I'm going to do what I can to help you is what I'm trying to explain. I'm explaining that the actual...
No trespassing.
And
the actual
it's going to happen
nudity...
again in the next time, but apparently I can go take my clothes off and go walk up to little kids to show them my body, and that's not a problem in the state.
If you're doing it specifically to go show a child your naked body, yes, then there's the intent behind what you're doing.
And
but
her walking up to us, where I'm sitting right here with my little kid, that doesn't constitute that.
Because of where you're talking about, and I'm telling you how law works on this, that's a common area where people would approach a residence. It's not in your backyard or in a private area. That's a public, your mailman, somebody who's coming to your door, anybody who's visiting would walk up this way. So her walking up and approaching you, if you say, hey, I don't want you here, and leave, and she turns around and leaves, she's not broken any law because she's approaching on a public right of way.
After discussing the laws, the officers approached the woman in question.
Just FYI, I gotta let you know I'm recording. I got called here about something that happened. It doesn't sound like much. Do you mind chatting with me real quick?
No, I'm not going to chat with you guys.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I just don't feel like it.
Okay. I'm going to explain something to you. Okay. Walking around naked and approaching people's front doors when they have children outside is not going to be tolerated. Okay. You're going to be trespassed from all of this property, all 3 of these units. If you go back, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
I think she understood. You know the last one.
We know this alley.
They quickly realized that she had mental health issues. As the conversation progressed, the woman's husband arrived on the scene.
How you doing, man? You live here?
Yeah.
So, are you...
Yeah.
So, apparently, Joel was naked, and she came out and walked around and went up on the front porch, and there was little kids out there and stuff. And I'm trying to explain to her that she can't,
not a good idea.
I told her to go to bed because she's been up all night.
Right.
She's not in any trouble for it.
Okay,
I was trying to explain that she's going to be trespassed. If she goes back over here, she's going to be arrested. They're all very upset.
Okay.
He cooperated with the officers, helping them manage the situation. His presence seemed to help de-escalate the tension and allowed the officers to address her needs more effectively.
So she's being trespassed from this property right here. So I would do your best to make sure she doesn't do that again. Her being naked, not a big deal, right? Based off what they told us, it sounds like it wasn't a crime to us. It's okay to be naked. How she was acting, though, not appropriate.
Yeah. Okay.
And with the situation,
push it a little bit further, it could be a crime. So there's children walking around, so be considerate of your neighbors and their children.
All right, have a good day.
I don't mean to be like that, but
that's all right, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Later, the officers returned to the man who called. He was still frustrated about Oregon's laws regarding public nudity, feeling that they didn't protect his child. The officers listened to his concerns, understanding his frustration while reinforcing the legal boundaries they must follow.
So we've notified her.
I already know all about the trespass. I understand how it works, but like the way things are going, and I see you guys took the blue stripe off your car, the politics and everything in this state. I'm sure you're a great guy, you're a great officer, but the way that this shit is heading, you're being so handicapped, you're being so held back that you either got to go somewhere else or find a different profession, because it's like, I feel like I need to just move away from this terrible, terrible state. Shit just seems to just get worse and worse.
It happens all over the city.
What it is, it's the homeless. And the fact is, you can corral them, you can put them somewhere, you can tell them you can stay there, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, they're all in the same boat, they're all doing the same thing. I caught them stealing my stuff 5 different times.
Mental health and legalizing drugs are the 2 biggest problems we have. If your kid's out here playing and she walks up, talk to your kid naked, that's a little bit different, right? Even then, it would still be hard to prove that there was a sexual intent in it, right? She's acting in a lewd manner, props herself up on the table and is like exposing herself to a kid. 100% she's going to go to jail for that. That's a sex crime, right?
So it comes down to a slight variation in
action. It's the action. Simply being nude and walking around or walking up to knock on somebody's door is in and of itself is not a crime.
Apologies to the arachnophobes out there, but we're not done with spiders just yet. This monster was filmed carrying a mouse across our fridge at a home in Australia. Well, at least the spider has his dinner sorted. As we've mentioned before, McDonald's workers really need a lot of patience, but sometimes even that isn't enough and they have to call the cops for help. This incident involved a group of drunk girls at the McDonald's drive-thru. Apparently, they were upset because they weren't getting served quickly. They made a lot of noise and the car behind them started filming. The girls were shouting and the guys filming shouted back.
Yeah, the oh my god! What? I said oh my god,
It looked like a fight might break out, but then they recognized 2 of the girls, started laughing, and joked about not getting served.
I said
Cheers, Drew.
Cheers. Hi.
I know your name. How do I know you?
Damn, hell yeah. Probably Facebook.
Yeah, it's true.
What's going on
you know
over
what?
here?
You know how many people have left?
Oh my god.
Every single person behind us has left because they won't give us.
What's going on?
They won't get the orders out. They suck. You suck.
Shit, what's up?
Ryan, should I get beer?
No, I'm good. I already had mine.
What are you guys doing tonight other than getting?
Oh my god, look at. Oh my god.
We've been doing it all day.
They've been doing it all day. Oh my
we
god.
asked for our money back.
Come on. I'm hungry. What do you want? I'm just gonna cop
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Oh my God. Dude, they're banging on the door and everything. Dude, the cops are coming for sure. This probably. Dude, they're hitting the window. Are you kidding me?
Their laughter didn't last long though. They even yelled at the worker, and seconds later, the cops showed up. The guy kept filming and wondered why they weren't being arrested for drinking.
Oh my God, look how fast they are here.
Oh my God, the cops are right there, dude. Oh, they're drinking beer and everything, dude.
The cops made the girls get out of the car, and while still shouting, one of the girls was pulled out by a cop and fell to the ground, completely passed out.
Dude, this is. Come on. Alright, you said go back. Dude, I got it all video. Alright, just get out of here.
I just hope they learn their lesson and won't drive after drinking again, because it never ends well. Animals are rarely welcome in convenience stores, even if they're as well behaved as that bear. However, this footage from Shibuya, Tokyo shows a store completely infested with rats. Like a Disney movie, it appears that these rats completely take over the store after it's closed. However, rather than singing cute songs, they're instead covering the products with germs. Gross! A homeless man was throwing rocks onto the freeway in Los Angeles when he was reminded that actions have consequences. One of the rocks strikes a passing motorbike, causing the biker to lose control and crash. The biker is left confused, wondering what happened. Meanwhile, the homeless man saunters away, unaware that his actions were recorded on camera. Burglars often don't realize they're being recorded. Take these two guys who showed up at someone's door and tried to open it. What they didn't expect was the homeowner's reaction. The homeowner opened fire through the door, and both burglars freaked out and fled. One of them was arrested, and now the homeowner is moving into a new house. And who could blame him? Just look at how the door ended up.
Recién estoy llegando a mi casa. Dejé la luz apagada. Son casi las 5 de la mañana. Recién llegué.
This guy came home to find something really weird. He had left all the lights off, but when he got home, the lights were on. A window was open, and he could hear singing.
Se ve la puerta abierta. Sí, es rarísimo. Yo nunca dejo la luz prendida. Nunca me pasó esto. Estoy escuchando ruidos aparte. Se escucha alguien cantando. Está la ventana acá abierta. Sí. La concha de su madre.
Suddenly, he saw a figure inside his house and freaked out. He said it was really tall, almost as tall as the wall, and kept asking, "What are you?" His breathing sped up, but he gathered all his courage and tried to open the door. The door made a strange noise and wouldn't open.
No, es altísimo. Es altísimo. Está casi llegando al techo. Jesús, hijo de puta. No es altísimo. Es altísimo. Jesús. No, está casi llegando al techo. No sé si se logra captar bien, pero es una figura altísima. Nunca vi algo así. Entra, hijo de puta. No me dejes. No puedo entrar. No puedo entrar. Hijo de puta, se fue.
Eventually, the tall figure disappeared, but the lights he had turned off before leaving were still on. What do you think it was? I'm not sure if it was a demon or what, but one thing's for sure. This guy is fearless. In Texas, a woman fired 8 gunshots at a McDonald's staff after becoming irate over missing hash browns and biscuits in her order. The incident took place just south of downtown on December 30th, 2023. Samantha Anthony, a 32-year-old from San Antonio, initially visited the McDonald's at 5 a.m. She left the restaurant but returned half an hour later to complain that items were missing from her order. Despite employees showing surveillance footage of Anthony receiving her order and noting that the wrappers from her meal were visible in her lap, she persisted with her claim. The situation escalated when the angry woman allegedly fired multiple gunshots from her car into the drive-thru window where employees were working. This information comes from an arrest warrant affidavit.
The first shot, I kind of had a late reaction. I just kind of was like, and then whenever the other shots started ringing out, that's whenever all of us that were in the front kind of ducked and slid. Well, when I was talking to her, I noticed that she had the wrappers on her lap. I was just like, can I see the bag? Because I noticed the bag. You didn't give me a bag either, even though I could see it on her lap.
Following the incident, Anthony was arrested and is currently held in police custody with a bond set at $75,000. She faces charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a second-degree felony. The shooting left the fast food workers who had to hide behind walls and equipment traumatized. While we're on a positive trend, how about this dad showing the world how parenting can be done? The viral footage shows a few young kids in the UK screaming, swearing, and threatening staff at a local convenience store. The only problem with going viral for bad behavior is that pretty much anyone can see it.
Yeah, of course it'll melt away.
I swear, if when the next I'm gonna come as later, you'll make
axe, fam. I'm gonna cut you up. Bro, I
come
swear
back
to you.
here. Shut up, you little. How old are you?
How old are you? You're about 80 years old.
In this case, one of the people to see the video was the kid's father. It wasn't long before this child was dragged back and forced to apologize.
But you're sorry to who, Charlie?
I didn't mean for any of this to happen, it's just angry.
And what else, Charlie?
Well, let's say that I'm sorry.
But you're sorry to who, Charlie?
Him.
And all the members of staff at Asda. Embarrassing people, yeah? Because you're a vile-mouthed little bastard, ain't ya? Not being rude, I'm your dad. And I've had to bring you down here because you disrespect everyone. And now you're plastered all over Facebook. It's disgusting, Charlie. We don't bring you up like this. Do we, Charlie? There you go. And apologise to the gentleman.
No, I'm sorry.
And he will never, I promise you now, mate, he will never come round here again. Alright, I promise you that.
A video that also made it onto social media. Good for that dad. On February 19, 2024, the Mesquite Police Department in Texas received a call from an administrator at the Pioneer Technology and Arts Academy. She informed them that a student was holding a handgun and was refusing to put it down.
Mesquite 911, Buchanan, what's the address of your emergency?
3200 Old. I'm the assistant principal. No student just pulled a gun. I need someone here now. I am with him. He's fine. I'm calming him down. I need to get someone here now.
Okay, I'm getting him started. Where is he right now?
He's in my office in room 151 in the building. I'm putting the building on lockdown.
Okay, does he still have the gun?
Yes, he does.
Okay, what is he doing right now?
He's just standing. He won't put the gun down.
An officer arrived on the scene within 2 minutes and spoke to the student for 4.5 minutes, attempting to defuse the situation.
What's going on today, buddy? Can you talk to us? We would like to help you. That's why we're here. Is anything upset you today?
Just give me the air for a minute.
Can you listen to me closely? Please do not reach for that gun, okay? We don't want anything to happen to you or anyone else. Can you do that for me? What has upset you today? Maybe we could talk about it.
Trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away so we can...
At this point, the 16-year-old student had put the gun on the floor, but during the conversation, he reaches for it, causing an officer to fire 3 shots at him. The student then returns fire, causing a brief shootout between him and the officers.
Do you need anything right now? No?
We just need you to step away from the gun, buddy. You're not in trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away so we can...
The police then managed to persuade the student to give himself up. In total, 3 officers fired 19 shots, but the student only sustained a single gunshot wound to his leg. He was treated at the hospital before being transported to Dallas County Juvenile Detention. The student was charged with multiple counts of aggravated assault against a public servant, as well as an exhibition of a firearm, which was a Rossi .38 special revolver. This is definitely a case of justice in getting caught red-handed. A homeowner noticed that his neighbor had broken into his house and made himself at home, even grabbing a beer and watching TV. Pretty creepy, right? Keep watching.
So I went to our garage, my husband and I, and we got 2 pistols. We met him in the cul-de-sac. He blocked off the entry of the cul-de-sac to make sure if he did have a vehicle, the man that was entering the home, that he wouldn't be able to escape.
The homeowner got a notification about movement inside his house and couldn't believe his eyes when he arrived. The couple, both ex-Army members, came armed and managed to detain him to prevent his escape. They just held him until the police arrived. The intruder even told the couple he just wanted to be friends, but breaking into the house of 2 former Army members, you better think twice. Sometimes dolls can be really creepy. You take this doll, for example, whose eyes make her look possessed, as if a spirit is inside the doll. This guy was out shopping and couldn't help but notice her eerie eyes. If you look closely, you'll see that the eyes seem to follow the guy who's filming. What would you do if you came across such a demonic-looking doll? I would definitely freak out. I bet you've never seen a flooded McDonald's. Well, if you haven't, here's something for you. This video was captured in Palm Springs, California, and shows how the flood affected McDonald's. What's most shocking is that despite the flood and water everywhere, people still wouldn't give up on McDonald's. Would you still go? Okay, this isn't exactly a convenience store, but it's also 100% worth checking out. These people attempted to rob a phone store located in East London. However, rather than do things the old-fashioned way, the store owner decides to simply lock the group in while waiting for the police to show up. And these thieves are not happy about it.
Yeah, they're all inside. I will say when you're all inside. And then yeah, they're locked inside now. They're trying to get out. Yeah. There's still something. Yeah, 3, 4, 5.
कैसा जाओ कैमरा ऑन करानी दुकान में कैमरा ऑन करानी ऑन नहीं
there was a CCTV is on. Yeah, people outside waiting. So
what
many
है
people outside.
कैसे केस नहीं थी वो केस आती है वो केस नहीं
They are going to take our safe as well. Yeah, 257 Watchable Road. Oh, my name is Fun House. 20th of September 17. Yeah.
It's an interesting tactic, because they would certainly do a lot more damage while they're inside, but with everything caught on tape, they'd just be racking up more charges. A motorcyclist was driving down a highway near Denver, Colorado, when all of a sudden, his reactions were put to the test. He first avoids a blanket or tarp that falls onto the road, followed by a ladder in quick succession. Then, he has to swerve between two vehicles that collided right in front of him. This biker showed great situational awareness, and his relief is palpable. Many people don't seem to care about safety. If you don't believe me, just watch these neighbors who were taking out a column, which is extremely dangerous. I mean, if they're this careless about safety, what kind of neighbors will they be? Let me know what you think. After seeing people mistreat our planet, there's something even worse. Pretending to clean up a beach for social media and then leaving the trash right where it was. Yeah, you heard that right. Keep watching. This girl films herself picking up litter from a beach. It looks like she's doing a good and admirable job. However, just seconds later, after she's got her video, she shows her true colors and leaves the garbage on the beach. She even mocks and laughs as she walks away, leaving the bag behind. Utah police have released body camera footage from a February 12th incident where a 4-year-old fired a gun at police officers at a McDonald's drive-thru in Midvale. Officers from the Unified Police Department were called around 1:30 p.m. because a man reportedly waved a gun at a McDonald's employee over a wrong order. When the police tried to detain him, a child in the backseat of his car shot at the officers.
Open your window. Open the door. Open the door. Okay. Open the door, real slow.
Okay, put down your phone. Put down your phone. With the right hand, open the door. With the right hand, open the door. Open the door. Open your door. Come on out. Come on out.
Hold on, I got my... Hold on. Step out.
Get out of the car.
At first, police detained Johnson after he refused to get out of his car. The footage shows officers pulling him from the driver's seat and handcuffing him on the ground. During this, an officer saw a gun pointing out from the rear window of the car.
Now. Drop the gun.
He alerted other officers about the gun and moved it aside just as a shot was fired. He also informed them that it was a kid who fired the gun.
Kids.
You alright, kid? It's alright, come on. It's okay.
You can hear officers reassuring two upset children ages 3 and 4 in the backseat of Johnson's car by telling them it's okay, right after one child fired a shot. It was later known that Johnson had told his children to shoot at the officer. He was later charged with child abuse, aggravated assault, and interfering with an arresting officer. It's rare that the people who perpetrate these heinous convenience store crimes actually get dealt a proper dose of karma. Fortunately, this drive-by shooting at a grocery in West Philadelphia ends with a small dose of comedic justice. Footage shows a car pulling up and a masked man jumping out. A man riding an electric scooter seems to be the target, but he runs into a convenience store to take cover. The masked man then opens fire into the store, but trips over the scooter as he attempts to flee, spilling bullets everywhere. Who wants to bet that at least a few of those bullets have fingerprints on them? Wearing red to a rodeo isn't the smartest idea. This bull managed to jump the barriers at an event in Oregon and escape into the concourse. It charges at several people, hurling one woman, who is wearing red, into the air. Three people were left injured before the bull was finally corralled. Security guards sometimes go too far with the methods. For instance, consider this guard who got upset with a balloon vendor positioned outside a store's entrance. He actually lit all of the vendor's balloons on fire to drive him away. From what the video shows, the vendor wasn't even inside the store, so this reaction seems extreme, doesn't it? What do you think about the situation? Here we have another person making a scene because the food is taking too long. This guy got fed up because his order was delayed and started destroying the store. Literally, he approached the counter and started yelling about having to wait too long for his food.
Are you kidding me?
Seconds later, he exploded and began throwing everything off the counters filled with food. One thing is for sure, the poor employees have to deal with this kind of behavior daily. The thing about most modern robberies is that they rarely go all that well. That said, they're rarely quite this funny. Here, we see a man in a Halloween mask seemingly completely prepared to rob the store. The only problem is, he can't get in. He even pulls out a bright red knife in an attempt to pry the doors open. But what's really funny about the scenario is the patience he exudes as he waits for the doors to open. He's almost completely unaware that he's on film and is about to be spread all over the internet for his bumbling robbery attempt.
Oh God. Girl, I'm gonna push you down and litter everything if I gotta run.
Killing a spider is not always the best approach, as these people are about to find out. What was one problem has now become hundreds. If the neighbor's family we just saw is furious, this woman is absolutely seething. What was once a peaceful and quiet neighborhood has turned into a hotspot of chaos and problems because of her actions. She constantly bothered the other neighbors until one couple had enough. They decided to film her and call the police as she started hurling yard signs at them and even threatened their lives.
No, touch me,
Calm
I'll
down.
kill you.
Calm down.
Let her.
Calm
let
down.
her. Let her. Let her.
Calm down.
Let her. Let her.
Calm down.
Let her.
Hey.
Let her. No,
Piece
let
of
her.
trash.
Let her.
Hey.
Let her. No, let her. Call the police.
Get a survey.
Call the police.
Hey.
I've already called the police. Okay, let the police come out here. Yeah, you're a dirty cop back there. Do it. You not to call. Do it. Do it. You go back in your house. Do it.
You can even hear other neighbors shouting at her. As we mentioned before, sometimes it's better not to have neighbors at all, especially if they are like this woman. Have you seen this video? It's hard to know why someone would use a truck to remove trash from a river only to put it right back. I have no idea why they do that. What I do know is that watching the video is tough on the eyes. It's the fact that there is a huge issue with local products. These farmers decided to take action by dumping a huge amount of manure in front of a McDonald's with a dump truck. They were frustrated because McDonald's is importing meat from other countries instead of buying them from local producers. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. In Australia, guns are heavily regulated, so robberies involving firearms are quite rare. However, knives are often used instead, and they are just as deadly. This footage from Sydney shows a young man walking into a convenience store and grabbing a can of Red Bull. When asked to pay, he pulls out a large kitchen knife instead of his wallet, brandishing the blade at the clerk while making demands for cash and cigarettes. In total, the thief made off with over $6,000 in just 2 minutes, all without forgetting his Red Bull. A bicycle blocking the road is about to be the least of this truck driver's problems. Now, he's definitely not making that delivery on time. In Florida, a highly disturbing incident occurred when a man was caught peeping through the windows of his neighbors for weeks. As seen in the security camera footage, the man behaved suspiciously around multiple properties. He's often spotted lurking in the shadows and peering into windows, attempting to view private areas of people's homes. Homeowners, alerted by their security systems, quickly notified the police.
Super uneasy, like, because we have a neighborhood group chat and we were all kind of texting it and being like, this is super weird, like, just be on the lookout.
My concern is my daughter. She's down the street.
When the officers arrived, their body cameras recorded what happened next, a scene that will leave you speechless.
What's up, man? Where are you coming from?
The man tried to escape, but the officers managed to apprehend him, bringing much-needed relief to the concerned neighbors.
It's weird, man. It makes people uneasy.
As we've seen before, many people target McDonald's for bizarre things. But what if McDonald's targeted you? This guy parked his car in a McDonald's parking lot, and when he came back, he found his car crushed by a McDonald's sign. The sign had completely split the car in two. About a month ago, a dashcam captured what could have been a tragic event but ended up with a Toyota Corolla catching fire. At the start of the video, the driver notices a weird smell, so he decides to pull over and check it out. When he gets out to inspect the car, it suddenly starts catching flames and quickly goes up in flames. So, the lesson here is pretty clear. If you smell something strange or notice anything off, it's best to get out of the car and check it out. On February 6, 2024, a 36-year-old man attempted to rob a Bank of America in Fort Myers. When police closed in, he took two people hostage using a knife, and he also claimed to have a bomb. As the police tried to negotiate the man's surrender, the would-be robber used the hostages as human shields. However, when he suddenly put one of the hostages in a headlock and held a knife to her throat, the officers were no longer willing to be patient. A police sniper saw his opportunity and fired at the robber. The bullet traveled through a desktop computer and between the two hostages before fatally striking the suspect.
Knocked out too. I get it. I can empathize with that situation. Believe me, I can. Okay? And I want to be able to help you with that. Right? As somebody else who has kids, I want to be able to help you with that. 100%. You heard? Come on, Alavachi. Right? Keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. Let me know what's going through your head right now. What concerns you have. I want to make sure you're the most relaxed.
Go, 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 go.
It was an incredible, calculated shot, and one that is practiced by snipers who use .308 caliber bullets to reliably shoot through barriers.
But I couldn't be more proud of the men and women of law enforcement today, my family members today, the SWAT team today. How you train is how you perform. And this is exactly what we train for. We train for worst case scenario. We train for hostage negotiations and what that means. Going from worst case to best scenario. This is a very unfortunate incident, but I will tell you, the 2 hostages being safe was our top priority.
In Midland, Michigan, a contract worker doing a job on the store's roof noticed a long power cord running to the back of the store's sign. However, when he opened the door, he actually found a woman known locally as the Roof Ninja living inside.
You know? So you're talking the big family fair?
Yeah, where it says she's inside of that. She's got a cord ran out to the AC.
Way.
I was telling her, I swear to God, I want to see when you open the door. I think there's a copy machine in there. We both came here. We both came here and worked on the roof for years, and before there was a problem with that peaked part, and it was leaking like right at the verge. So I got in there to see where it was coming. I told him, let's peek in there.
Yeah.
Well, the door's always like, usually it's ajar. It's hard to keep shut. So we turned the screws that hold it, and I was like, wow, something's holding it. So we put a screwdriver in it. We're trying to get it open, and I could see a string. I said, oh, that's weird. There's a string. And I thought to myself, how would you tie that? There's no way to get out of it. And I thought, did somebody kill himself in this thing? The body or something. I told him, cut that. So we cut it, we open it, she's just standing, you know, she has a thermal blanket, like, keeping the cold out, like, that's her house, man. She's I swear there's flooring.
So she's been,
look,
everyone wants to check out the roof.
It was crazy.
Well, I hope
but I bought
you
it a
guys
heart
can catch her this
attack.
time, because every time we call, she's gone before you guys get here.
She had no shoes on, so she's comfortable. She just had, I seen like her sweat. I seen from this down, she had black socks. He was like, she had black socks on. Because I about had a heart attack.
So you saw her in there? Or no?
She's in there right now, man.
Oh, she's in there right now?
Yeah, we gotta go get her. She's in there. We gotta go.
I thought...
she's in there, dude.
Oh, okay.
I opened the thing, and I said, oh my God, there's somebody in there. She says, there is somebody in here. I said, sorry, we're just trying to find out where the water is. She said, I can guarantee you it's not coming from in here.
The woman had turned the sign into a makeshift home with flooring, a desk, and even houseplants. The police show up and let the manager know that they are well aware of the woman and her antics. The police first send the contractor back up to tell her to come out, but the woman is reluctant. It's at this point that the police themselves go up and very politely confront the woman, who is actually extremely reasonable despite her bizarre actions.
Unlock it for me, please. Okay.
Central 4156, are you secure?
Okay. That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, I was trying to get my stuff so I can get down right away. I'm moving out of here in 24 hours to get away from all of this.
You're coming out right now. I talked to the manager. She's down on the ground. The biggest thing is a liability issue for her. Okay, you being up here is a big time liability issue. So she wants you gone. And
I'm trying to do that. I have to go talk to my boss.
Well, hear me out first, because you have no time. Like, you're coming out with us.
Where do you work? I work over at, I just got hired in over at, and, right up here, that's good.
No, it's not too bad. It's a little overcast here. So, over in that corner, we've got a ladder.
Alright.
So we'll just head over there. That's where the manager's hanging out.
Great.
And,
they're gonna be so happy to see me. She's super cool. Probably not gonna
they're being super cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
I do appreciate that.
Again, she's got no ill will. She's just like, I can't have this girl falling. She needs to get off our roof. So that's where we're at. So
She apparently makes a habit of doing these things, but she's eventually trespassed from the property. Most shocking of all, she claims to have been living there for a full year. If you thought you'd seen all the unexplainable videos out there, here's another one. Imagine checking your house security camera and seeing this: a girl approaching your house and acting extremely weird. This video, captured in 2013 by a security camera outside a home, shows a girl walk up to the house and then walking away. Seconds later, the camera catches her moving through the same area again, as if she's waiting for someone or just moving in circles. She approaches the house again, only to leave after a few seconds. Then, she repeats the same strange behavior. What is she doing there? Is she hiding from someone? After about 10 minutes of moving in circles and displaying odd behavior, she finally leaves. Why? It still remains a mystery to the homeowners as well. When park rangers warn you not to go somewhere, you should probably listen to them. If not, you might end up stuck in the mud like this guy.
We're all coming. Yeah, all right.
As we mentioned earlier, people sometimes do things that are hard to understand. Imagine being at home and seeing something strange outside your window. Someone decided to record it because what they saw seemed more like a scene from a horror movie than real life. They filmed a guy walking backwards through the streets. It's really weird to watch, and I have to admit, he looks possessed. What do you think about this? This is heartbreaking. It's so sad to think that a neighbor walks up and takes this little dog right from his front yard. It is clear that the neighbor didn't want to help. Someone wanting to help would have knocked on the door or checked with the other neighbors. The family is devastated. Sadly, the woman who took the dog claims she doesn't even know where it is now. Dog thief and now clueless. Have you ever seen a rock avalanche? It's a bit creepy to watch. The rocks start tumbling down the river as if they were water, but they're actually way heavier than water. Let's hope the person filming was okay and didn't get hit by any rocks. Former New York police officer Brandon Huckle was suspended without pay and pled guilty to disorderly conduct after cameras caught him damaging a person's car during a search for their home. Huckle was also fined $250 in order to pay over $550 in restitution to the vehicle's owner. As for why he did it, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The spiders?
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Where do the spiders come from? They will? They will?
I don't know, baby.
This seafood boil came with a lot of unwanted 8-legged surprises. The home cook pulls no fewer than 7 fishing spiders from among the crayfish. I don't know about you, but I would have definitely lost my appetite.
Where did those spiders come from? Where do spiders come from?
The crawfish, bro.
There's no way.